Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack the fascinating science and the sheer practical application of what is, literally, the exercise world's Russian army knife. I'm talking about the kettlebell swing. So if you've ever felt totally torn between needing cardio for fat loss, but also really needing weight training to build strength, well, you are absolutely in the right place today.
All right, let's take a really quick look at our roadmap. We're going to cover 1. The ultimate fitness multi-tool. 2. The biomechanics of the swing. 3. Hard style versus sports style. 4. Variations for every body. And finally, number 5, mastering the perfect form.
Okay, section 1, the ultimate fitness multi-tool. We all know the struggle of finding time for both a grueling cardio session and a heavy strength training routine. But what if you just didn't have to choose between them? Now, you might be wondering, how can you burn calories equivalent to a 6-minute mile pace without running a single step? Running that fast is incredibly demanding, and let's be honest, for a lot of people, it's just not practical or safe for their joints. Well, the answer is 20 calories a minute. Research actually shows that a 20-minute kettlebell workout focused right around the swing can burn an astonishing 400 calories. Researchers concluded that this level of energy expenditure is literally the equivalent of cross-country skiing uphill at a fast pace. It is, without a doubt, the ultimate high-intensity interval training tool. I love this quote from legendary coach Dan John because it perfectly captures the exercise's dual power. It doesn't just melt fat, it builds real, capable athletic bodies. A famous case study of this is Tracy Reefkind. She experienced a dramatic transformation, losing 120 pounds. And her secret? It wasn't endless, boring hours on a treadmill. She achieved this by swinging a kettlebell just twice a week for an average of only 15 to 20 minutes per session. Insane, right?
Moving right along to section 2, the biomechanics of the swing. Let's shift gears from those awesome anecdotes into the hard clinical science to understand exactly what's happening inside your body when you thrust that weight into the air.
A really fascinating concept at play here is called cheme. This is a rapid contraction followed by an equally rapid relaxation of the muscles. It's actually a technique famously utilized by martial arts legend Bruce Lee, and even elite UFC mixed martial arts fighters today to enhance the speed and force of a strike. So when you snap your hips at the top of a swing and brace your core, you are training this exact same explosive pulse-like contraction. Check out this biomechanical setup from a BackFit Pro study led by Dr. Stuart McGill. This subject is hooked up to EMG sensors while performing the hip hinge squat pattern of the swing. The study recorded ground reaction forces and 3D kinematics to map out exactly how much load the lower back is actually taking during the movement. And here's what they found. A swing with a 16-kilogram kettlebell generates about 3,200 newtons of low back compression. Now, I know that sounds like a massive number. Well, actually, it is a massive number, but here's why it matters. That substantial force actually falls safely below the NIOSH action limit, which is the standard workplace safety limit for spinal compression. Furthermore, the swing creates a really unique posterior shear force that is completely opposite in polarity to a traditional lift, like a deadlift. This helps explain why some powerlifters who struggle with traditional barbell lifts find kettlebell swings actually feel kind of therapeutic for their backs. So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding that the swing is a ballistic movement. You have to think of it like a bullet fired from a gun. There's one single moment of massive acceleration from the hips, and then the bell just coasts. It just floats upward. It is not a grind. It's not a missile being slowly and constantly pushed into place. Choosing maximum acceleration over slow tension is exactly what makes it so remarkably safe and effective when you do it right. Which brings us to section 3, hard style versus sports style. Now that we understand the underlying science and the biomechanics, let's impartially break down the two main factions or styles of swinging you're inevitably going to encounter out there in the fitness world. So on one side, we have the hardstyle swing, popularized by Pavel Tsatsouline. It's highly explosive, hinge-based, uses biomechanical breathing with a sharp exhale, and it's all about generating maximum power. Then on the flip side, we have the Russian sport style. This is a much older style that uses a pendulum motion with a double knee bend, and it focuses entirely on efficiency and relaxed breathing to build endurance over long 10, 20, or even 30-minute sets. And look, neither is wrong. Your choice simply depends on whether your goal is raw power or aerobic endurance. Okay, section 4, variations for every body. The true beauty of this tool is its absolute versatility.
It's not just for elite fighters or heavy lifters. It is highly adaptable, whether you are a professional athlete or an older adult who just wants to improve everyday functional balance.
While the standard two-arm swing builds incredible maximum power and just lights up the full posterior chain, the single-arm variation introduces a massive anti-twisting challenge. Because all the weight is entirely on one side, your glutes and lats have to work overtime just to keep your body squared up. And then there are carries, like the bottoms-up carry, which intensely, and I mean intensely, challenge your grip and core.
Just look at how carrying the bell in the bottoms-up or racked position totally changes the game. Carrying the weight like this forces your core musculature to rapidly stiffen to maintain stability. You literally have to brace your core to prevent the bell from falling over, making it a fantastic real-world exercise for functional, walking core strength.
And this brings us to a really inspiring takeaway, highlighted by caveman training. The dynamic momentum of the kettlebell, the very nature of the swing itself, forces you to engage stabilizing muscles just to keep from falling forward or backward. For older adults, this directly trains the exact muscles required to prevent falls in daily life. It's undeniable proof that fitness truly has no expiration date. All right, let's dive into our final section, Section 5, Mastering the Perfect Form. This is the most important part because to reap all these incredible fat loss and strength benefits without hurting your back, your form absolutely must be dialed in. When executed flawlessly, a proper swing is a total body movement. It rapidly fires up your entire posterior chain. We're talking your glutes, your hamstrings, and the erector spinae muscles running right up your back. At the exact same time, your abdominals and lats lock in to stabilize your spine. It is literally a symphony of muscle recruitment. So follow these 4 steps closely. First, set up like a deadlift, feet firmly planted, back straight. Second, aggressively hike past the bell, back between your legs, kind of like a football center. Third, explosively thrust your hips forward. Remember, you're firing a bullet. And fourth, just let the bell float naturally up to chest level. Don't pull it, let it float. But hey, there are 3 major mistakes you absolutely must avoid. Number 1, never squat the weight. This isn't a squatting competition, your butt goes back, not down. Number 2, never round your back, or you really risk spinal injury. Try to imagine balancing a broomstick perfectly on your spine. And number 3, always remember your arms are simply ropes holding the weight. Your arms just guide the bell. Your hips are what lift it. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to ask yourself, how are you going to deploy this incredibly efficient fat-melting tool in your own life? Whether you're looking to burn 20 calories a minute, build explosive athletic power, or just bulletproof your lower back for everyday life, the kettlebell swing empowers you to build strength and endurance entirely on your own terms. Grab a bell, perfect your hinge, and start swinging.